All right. We should be good. Joseph, if you'll check it, and I have a little special way.
No, I'm good.
Does everything sound okay? Let me know if you can hear
I'll
this.
Wild West pimp style.
Oh, maybe that didn't come through.
I had it set for notifications.
Oh, wait, here we go. I got it.
Yeah, I heard that.
Oh, I heard it.
Did you hear
A
it?
little delay.
Did it work?
I heard it.
Okay.
Your Wild West, whatever it was.
Wild West pimp style.
And we all
I'm muting it
sound
quickly
good too,
'cause
by the
it's
way.
Very echoey.
That was. Did that come
was
through
just
my?
'cause
That didn't come through my mic, did it?
No. It was just because I was listening to you and the YouTube video.
Oh, gotcha. Oh, gotcha. Yeah, it'll do that.
It gets very confusing very quickly.
Oh, yeah. All right. Just if you'll post in the Discord.
Yep.
Okay. And then the first question I have for both of you, because I found out recently that maybe, and who knows, maybe it's like a generational thing. Have you both seen the movie The Mist?
Yep.
By directed by, it was Frank Darabont. Yeah,
There's two versions of it, aren't there?
yes. The one with his name slipped in my mind all of a sudden.
I've probably seen the one you're asking about.
The more recent one that came out in like, what was that, 2000?
The one with
where they changed
the Punisher in it.
Yeah,
The one where they changed the ending.
Jane. Yeah, the one they changed the ending for.
And that's got the lady from The Walking Dead in it.
Oh yeah, I always forget she was in that.
And the Punisher.
Yes, Thomas Jane.
There, yeah, that's it.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So Mike Flanagan is
Making
rebooting it,
at it.
Mm-hmm. And says that he loves the Frank Darabont version and is not going in the same direction. And I don't know how I feel
with the book ending, or sorry,
maybe I don't know. It doesn't. You know how it's like this stuff comes out and then there's not a ton of information about it.
Yeah. Stephen King said he liked that ending better. I don't really care for Stephen King's opinion.
Yeah, he's an odd dude. Way of putting it.
The ending of The Mist. I think it was a very shocking ending, right? On purpose, right? That it was supposed to be like a big rug pull. Oops. Sorry, I had a Shad video on my phone and I opened it. And
They're talking about Mormons.
I was watching that video you were asking about before we started the stream.
Oh, there we
Before I jumped on. So what was the question? Oh yeah, the ending. I don't hate it. I think it worked for what it was, but in retrospect, it does kind of ruin the story.
Interesting.
I don't have an opinion because
if
I
the
don't
army
remember
is if the army is capable of destroying these things so easily, it kind of ruins the struggle of the rest of the story.
Do you think it would? Well, do you think it would have been better if they had kept that ending and the army didn't show up? Like if it just kind of ends on, like he does.
Yeah.
You don't know what happens with him necessarily, but like,
yeah, that would work better.
Or like he ran out of bullets. I don't. I guess I can spoil a movie that came out like 15 years ago, right?
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Because Joseph doesn't remember.
Even if you haven't seen the movie, you've seen like a
I
YouTube
know.
short spoiling it, right? I think everyone has seen the ending of that movie.
Yeah,
I know how I remember how it
ends.
ended. Yeah.
So it's because I was having a conversation with
spoilers for The Mist.
I was having
about,
one of
that released 10 years ago, guys.
Yeah, I don't even remember why it got brought up, but because I guess people are always like, "Oh, have you seen this?" or whatever. We're like talking, and I asked, I was like, "Have you guys seen The Mist?" And they're just like, "What?" And it was just kind of surprising to me because I thought that was and one of them referred to it as like a niche film, and I was like, really is that where we're at now?
It's definitely a cult classic, but it's not that niche.
I guess I didn't think about it that way. Especially because it's been around long enough.
It was a pretty low budget movie too, so like it started off small, but it got big.
So that's happening. A report came out that said that short form video addiction is correlated with lower frontal brain activity and reduced ability to focus, which I think we all knew, but I think it's funny that there's actually I think we're entering the era of people.
I'm sorry, what'd you say?
So short form videos.
I'm just kidding, David. That was a
bro. That was a good one.
You
You got me. You got me. Listen. I'm. Anyway, guys, we'll see you next time.
You can't recover. You just end the stream.
Just don't even say anything. Just turn it off. You guys are like, hello? Thoughts on...
Yeah, I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised on that people who watch short-form video have a hard time focusing.
Wait, I got you. Hang on. Wait, do I have that one? No, I don't.
Which one were you looking for?
I have an ISO somewhere that's the one he's like, I'm not surprised.
Oh, yeah.
I thought I had that
on ADS.
Mm-hmm. You sent that one to me, but I can't find it. Doesn't matter.
I'm glad we got the ISOs back, though.
I'm working on it. Listen, it's all a work in progress. It's a new year. We're starting out the year good. We're going to be talking about the final episode of Night of the Seven Kingdoms.
Woo-woo.
I bought the graphic novel, so I'm going to add that to my collection and probably end up spending more money than I should on copies of the floppies.
My next short I'm releasing that I'm going to work on
I've got the
is going to tell people to ridicule you to prevent you from reading them so that you stay on track with me.
It's like I've got... It's like the devil and the angel situation, Joseph, where like every day I'm like, should I just get ahead? And then it's like, yeah, you should. And then it's like, should I tell Joseph? And it's like, no, you should just make him think that you're not doing it. I haven't yet. I've only got Hedge Knight, and obviously I know what happens, but I want to read the graphic novel at least first.
The graphic novel is a perfect adaptation.
I watched your video on it today.
That was today.
And I also watched your most recent live stream where you were eating ribs on stream.
Dude, you were eating
I've
ribs?
spent all day making those, and they finished right before the stream. I had to eat a couple.
They looked good. You had
no choice.
They looked really good.
It's a must.
I got a smoker, okay?
I was about to say, did you smoke them?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That's what I like to hear.
I
don't get me probably a rec tech or a camp chef later on the year. So, if you're familiar with those brands, technically, I don't know how dialed in you are to smoking, but
I have a Traeger because that's what they had at Costco. So,
I'm just kidding. That's cool. Traegers aren't bad.
They're pretty good.
Oh, here's a good one for you. So. I was curious about if you guys have seen some of these. Have you guys seen all of the edits that they've been doing for... Joseph sent me one of them for A Night of the Seven Kingdoms. Like...
like the white girl music
yes,
one?
Yes.
Yes.
There's one that's got like all of the neon colors in it and like the symbols of them behind. It's probably my favorite edit. I'm so happy.
I don't think I've seen that one. You'll have to send that to me.
I'll send that to you. I've got it saved. I'm so happy with the way, like, the reaction the show has had with people.
Yeah,
it's nice to be talking about something good, isn't it? And positive.
Yeah.
It's really reached everybody.
I wonder how much
it's reached an audience I didn't think it was going to reach.
What audience is that?
Just normies.
Yep.
But
it's amazing how much of a simple story, such as, him going on the hero's journey, just being a good dude, and the world building around that, A Tale as Old as Time, how successful it's been for them.
Yeah, well, I have a theory about it, and it's why Hollywood hasn't made a good movie in 20 years. It's because good stories resonate with truth. And if you don't believe in truth, it's really hard to write good stories. It is impossible to write, a satisfying story of heroism if you don't know the difference between good and evil.
Yep.
What are so the first one that comes to mind that's more recent was Godzilla -1. Feels pretty close, but I feel like we don't get that. I think you're right. I don't think we get that kind of stuff very, very often.
I don't think
at
we
least
got
not
it
from
at all
mainstream
last
Hollywood.
year.
Did we get?
I don't think we got anything last year, show or movie.
And I don't think you've watched it, Joseph, but Reacher's probably the closest thing in television that we've gotten prior to this to someone with like somewhat of like a code of honor fighting bad guys, and there being like a I would say it's dumber than A Night of the Seven Kingdoms, if you will, in the sense of it's very much like big guy shoots bad guys, saves people. Like that's it really is that. But it is, especially I think season 3 in particular was like it really felt like it kind of nailed the mark on that.
What also shoots him in the foot, which is for the same reason, is that they can't show the bad guys doing bad things, which is what Reacher did. It showed them being bad.
Yeah.
But they don't believe that those things are actually bad. So you take a show like The Wheel of Time. Sorry, I got to bring it up. It's my baby.
Do it.
They made all of the evil people in that movie do good things. Like one of the main villains, who's just the most despicable character from the books, spends all of season 2 or 3, I can't remember which one, hunting down and killing pedophiles.
What?
And she's and they are still it's bizarre. They tried to make her a sympathetic a victim of abuse.
Well, I think what's really
but she's
popular.
also the bad guy, and you're like, so which is it? Like, what are you doing?
I think that just comes from the, unfortunately, from Game of Thrones making it popular, that moral grayness. So morality is gray, or if someone is evil, like you're saying, well, there's a sympathetic journey that led them to that point, and so they got to be understood. And let's have the audience to resonate with the antagonist. But then at the end of the movie, it's like
it's like a copy of a copy, though. Like they didn't understand what made Game of Thrones so interesting. Like everyone's favorite character is Ned Stark because he's good.
Half the fandom,
right? And that's why it's so devastating that spoilers, he dies in season 1.
Half the fandom doesn't understand the characters in Game of Thrones. Like people are.
Oh yeah.
I think we might have talked about this last time, but half of the people. I mean, like you look at House of the Dragon, and everyone's going like, "Oh, this person would have been great as like the king or queen or whatever," and you're like,
there's not a single character that would have been a good.
We're not
king
watching
in
the
that
same
show.
show. Oh, I saw one today. Someone said that Egg would have been proud of Daenerys, and I'm like,
no.
What are you talking? I was like, you have to be lying. I can't imagine that this is anything other than to try to like bait people, because they were talking about one scene, I think from maybe it was like season 7, like when they're like sailing to King's Landing, I think. I don't remember. It's been forever since I've watched those later seasons, but that was the scene, and it's just like we're just going to conveniently forget about the genocide and like burning the small folk and everyone else along with them. But like it's just
like take the most morally interesting character that Game of Thrones introduces, which is Jaime Lannister.
Sure.
And the entire exercise and point of that character is, hey, I'm gonna give you the most despicable human I can think of, an incestuous child murdering horrible bad guy, right?
Yeah.
And I'm gonna see if I can get people to like him. And how does he do that? By giving him a redemption arc. Like we don't like him because of the bad things he does. And I think we talked about this last time, where I said, or maybe it was on my show, before the show came out, there's someone who reviewed it and said the A Night of the Seven Kingdoms is boring because none of its characters are flawed. And we liked Game of Thrones because they had flawed characters. like Jaime Lannister, and I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, Dunk's character is an idiot. He's very flawed.
Yes.
They were
Jaime Lannister was interesting. And we didn't like him because of the child murder. We liked him because we saw that he started to change over the course of 7 seasons. Forget about the 8th one where they throw it out the window, right?
Dude.
You're like, oh, like it's literally a story of repentance. Like, you can't get more Christian than that, right? You see this horrible guy, and you see him making steps to becoming a better person.
Exactly. Yeah.
Exactly.
He's like super interesting until they just I mean, to be fair, they do it with everybody in season 8. They just like reset them to specific points in previous seasons, and then most of them die. I mean, it happens with Varys. It happens with Jaime. I'm sure there's some other people too. Clegane Bowl ended up being kind of lame. Dude, everybody hyped that to the moon and back, and then it happened, and it was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
I don't want to. Man.
I think
the reason why The Night of the Seven Kingdoms though is resonating so much is we have the ending of season 8, and it was just done so poorly. It left people upset because it was okay. Here's this world where people are entirely self-centered, selfish. There's no honor. There's no morality. They just do whatever pleases them, however they can get pleasure, power, and money. And it's just this nihilistic hedonism with a bleak outlook at the end. Whereas Ned, and then also Brienne, and then in A Night of the Seven Kingdoms, Dunk stands as the juxtaposition of that and stark contrast of that.
Davos too.
Yep.
Onion Knight. He needs a little bit of love.
I think that's why he can't finish the story too.
Yeah,
it demands an optimistic ending,
isn't it?
And he's a nihilist.
Isn't it funny?
And that's why the Hedge Knight's so good, because it actually is a good story. But
like, being a good character in like Game of Thrones just like comes down to be like, hey, maybe don't burn children alive.
Yeah.
You know, it's I mean, there's more to him than that, obviously, but I think it's so funny that it's just some of these people are so bad that it's just like, hey, maybe don't do that, and they're like, no, you're wrong, you know.
it's Emperor Kuzco syndrome, like, burning children alive, and that's bad. Oh yeah.
Well, I mean, yeah. I just think it's a world where everything is bleak, like what you're saying. Technically, it's nihilistic, but then also that's why the pursuit of pleasure is their highest good that they have, is because George has written this world that's like that, and so he can't end it in any other manner but like that.
And there's
when you have a character who in flies in the face of that nihilism, it's the most satisfying story of all time.
And almost like full cast of characters that are kind of currently doing that. Like, I know they like, at least where we're at right now, and one of the things watching this last episode that I really appreciated is that this show, there a long time ago, before they were going to finish Game of Thrones, there was a lot of talk about the ending and how they were going to end it, and that they were going to try to make, and again, before we knew it happened, they were going to try to make it satisfying, but it was going to be bittersweet. And people had a lot of like theories around that and what that was going to be. And then it just wasn't anything but bitter and anger. Yeah, it was not that thing at all. And I rewatching the ending of A Night of the Seven Kingdoms season 1, I think that they have struck a very nice balance of the bittersweet ending. You're not all of your heroes make it out alive. Some of your villains don't get the comeuppance, at least not yet, that they probably deserve. But your two main characters and some of your other supporting cast are in interesting or good places by the time the season ends, and there's still that bit of the hero came out of this alive, but certain groups of people don't really appreciate him, whereas other groups of people do. And that's kind of the thing that I liked. And it's like, that's kind of that mature storytelling. That's doing things in an interesting and complex way.
The heroes prevailed, but at great cost.
Yep. And I like that. I think that rings true with a lot of people, and I think it adds just quite a bit of emotional depth to this story, and we just need more of that, you know.
It's the best thing George has written.
I agree. I mentioned to somebody in a comment today on one of our shorts, I was like, at this point, because I think you said this last time you were on. It was like,
give up on A Song of Ice and Fire
do
and
this.
Just write more Dunk and Egg.
Just do
because
this.
It's something you could actually finish.
Mm-hmm. And I'm also 100% in agreement with your theory about Dunk's fortune. When he gets his fortune told. I think Joseph and I were talking about it, and I was telling him it's like sometimes in this universe when people get fortunes told to them or people see visions of the future, it has like it's either not 100% what you think it is, or it's got multiple meanings.
Well, especially now with the spoiler reveal that
that's so good
that Duncan survived Summerhall.
Mm-hmm.
I had this theory before that came out. I didn't. I thought Dunk survived Summerhall. It just makes sense that he's the one that saves Egg's posterity, and now it's like confirmed. Like I know I'm right now, right?
Yeah.
Because the whole thing is the dragon was dead and he was not. And it makes a lot more sense. Even, as awesome as Baelor was, he definitely would have made a great king. But Egg being able to bring back dragons and also being a great king, that's definitely a dragon whose wings would cover the whole country.
Yeah, Martin sure does love to give hope and then just snatch it away immediately, so that everyone falls back into their craziness.
Also, it's a sucky ending if Egg just goes crazy and becomes a typical Targaryen.
The whole I don't think people prescribe to it as much anymore, but just like that all the Targaryens eventually go mad. It's kind of boring,
Yep.
You need.
Well, it's a thing that people say in universe, but it's not actually true.
Yeah.
Some of them go mad, but yeah. It's usually more like Pride and like House of the Dragon stuff. You're like, they're not crazy; they're just stupid.
You can't do the same trick every time and expect people to be impressed, and that's kind of what it's boiled down to. Targaryens go mad. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. There, you have to have some more nuance to how.
Can't be a one-trick pony.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The other thing that what was it? I had it and it just completely disappeared on me. There was something about this show that I was going to mention. Maybe it'll come back to me. Let's start here and then we'll kind of get into the episode. But so now that the season's over, where are you guys at as far as
I loved
the show as a whole?
I loved it. I wish there wasn't a giant penis in episode 2, but it's
the only dragon we got in the
greatest thing.
Is it the best adaptation? Probably.
It sticks pretty close to the source material technically.
Yeah.
What would you rate it as far as percentage wise?
It's
as far as sticking to the source material.
And how
they changed one thing from the book. And it's a very minor detail that some people are complaining about.
Is it in the last episode, right?
Yeah, it's just Egg not having permission.
And then the only other thing is the Steely Pate line, right? That they left out.
Yeah, well, that's
technically it was in it, but they
omission, right? It's not a change, right?
So
enough. There's stuff that they couldn't fit in, but what is on screen is like 95%, 100% faithful.
Yeah,
and it's effective 90%.
That's a more faithful adaptation than the Lord of the Rings trilogy,
which is crazy.
Yeah. And then the stuff that they add that's not in the books fits right in, doesn't contradict anything. It's probably a more faithful adaptation than the Lord of the Rings movies, which took
to be
a
fair,
bunch of liberties, but kept the spirit of the books.
To be fair, easier adaptation, right? Like we're
Exactly.
not.
It's a novella.
Right.
It didn't have to leave out
To be fair,
a lot.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a very, very short book. You could read it in a few hours.
Joseph?
Yeah, no, I loved it, man. I mean, I enjoy being able to go back and look forward to rewatching episodes. This has a high rewatchability rate for me in particular, but I think for everyone. Enjoy how the parallels between Duncan, Sir Arlen, Egg, the kind of the cycle to where Arlen takes Dunk as a young squire, excuse me, and then also, teaching him knightly values, all that good stuff, and then later that's mirrored between Dunk and Egg, and then also enjoy the fatherly aspect to Dunk and Sir Arlen's relationship, and then how that parallels to Egg and Dunk's relationship too. Really, really, really enjoyed the 6 episodes, and I wish we had gotten more.
Yeah, I agree. I think I'm of two minds about where they go once they're sort of. I mean, we're a little ways away from that, a few years at least, where they go when they run out of actual source material, not just potential stuff that George is giving the
right. Well, he gave him a bunch of outlines,
so which I'm fine with, and I really. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was gonna. No, I don't want to derail the conversation. It's gonna be something different.
You're good. The biggest thing for me, and I've got it up on screen right now, is like I want more Lionel.
Yes.
I want more of the Fossaways. I think
Raymond's the MVP. I think I texted you that yesterday.
Raymond's great.
Yeah. We'll get to it. I think people might be wrong. Well, the running theory about him and Rowan, I think they might be wrong about Rowan.
Which one's Rowan?
She's the
his
prostitute
wife
that he marries.
I don't think she's pregnant.
Neither do I.
I told him she's pregnant because
she gives
lock it in.
She gives Dunk a look after Raymond says that, and I'm like, nah. She's telling him what he needs to hear.
Everyone read that scene wrong.
I agree.
Oh, he's going to be raising an illegitimate child. That's not the case. She's a prostitute.
Yep.
She was sleeping with the guy the other day. She would have had a contraception.
Funny enough, Joseph and I talked about this with just like episode 5 and the flashback and sort of how we haven't seen a whole lot of the small folk, and I would kind of include the prostitutes kind of in that grouping. Like we see some of that, but there hasn't been a huge focus on sort of like the lowborn. And one of the things that it seems to be a running theme is that most of them will do whatever it takes to try to change their status, and including Rowan. And I was like, when I watched it again, I saw that, I was like, oh, I nailed that. That's what's happening right there.
They also show her as a very capable prostitute. Like she's the other prostitutes come to her for help for things. She would have. There's a tea you can drink in Westeros that prevents that.
Yeah,
I don't think she would have been doing what she was doing without it. It's silly.
I enjoy how they say that to Dunk, and even though Dunk is simple-minded, right, highly virtuous man, not the smartest man in the room, but even he is. That's why she had to give him a look. Even he's like, wait a second now,
just go with this, okay?
Yep.
And he's like, he's happy, so he's like, whatever,
good for you, man.
Here's a question. Do y'all think they will ever answer, or do you think they will leave it, like even if it's at the end, do you think they'll leave it ambiguous that Dunk was knighted?
You're never supposed to know.
You're never gonna know.
And I hope they don't spoil it and give an answer.
I was really worried when they brought that in this episode. I was like, no, what are you doing? Like, obviously, if you think about it, the correct answer is No,
Probably not.
Probably was never knighted, because that's what George would do. You know, that the greatest knight who ever lived never actually
knighted.
took his vows, right? And he's the paragon of virtue and knighthood, right? But the point of the story is not knowing. It's the ending of Inception. You know, you're supposed to argue about it, and it's supposed to keep you guessing, and that's why it's so interesting. Is all those scenes you can interpret both ways, right? And so I'm really glad that they showed him popping back up, because I was worried they were going to spoil it for shock value. And it works. It still works. Like, yeah, maybe he did die, and maybe that was Dunk's imagination of him coming back to say something optimism. He's filling in the gaps with optimism. Or maybe it did happen. So,
well, let's get into it. We'll kind of talk about these things as they pop up, because there's definitely a lot to say.
I hope they don't. They should never answer that question.
The only other thing I'll say about that is his name's Ira Parker, right? The showrunner.
Yeah,
correct.
Allegedly, one of the things that George asked, so I guess as long as they maintain a good relationship, which I've heard they have, George specifically asked that he always keep that ambiguous, like whether. So as long as their relationship stays good, I have a feeling that's at least we're probably good for at least 3 seasons, and then after that
they've been super buddy.
Yeah.
Which is why that line is so shocking. And I always finishes. Maybe, like everyone's saying, maybe the fact that they're so buddy is they're hinting that he's going to release a book at some point.
It's a little jab.
I'm wondering
or something.
I wonder if he's going to release it when he dies, so he doesn't have to hear any criticism.
That's the theory.
He's already heard plenty of it. Like, people are already, Gary keeps like a count. He keeps a count of like days or whatever since what was that, Dance of Dragons?
You know, Thomas Massey has the debt tracker.
Yeah,
Gary's gonna have
he's got the Game of Thrones tracker for how long it's been.
Game of Thrones tracker.
Yeah, bro. That's fine. Listen, just finish Dunk and Egg. Give us the rest of those stories, and then I mean, listen. It sucks to say it. We did kind of get an ending to Game of Thrones. It's
a very bad sucky ending.
But what's nice about this Game of Thrones and House of the Dragon is that for the most part, you really don't need to watch one to appreciate any of the others. You can jump into this, you can jump into House of Dragon, or if you don't like House of the Dragon, you can jump into this with an understanding of kind of the history of like both of those stories and be totally fine with this, whether you know a lot or not.
Yeah. I like all of them, but the House of the Dragon's weakness is none of the characters are good.
It's very very nihilistic, very like.
There were a few good characters in Game of Thrones that you could latch on to. Most of them died, but
yeah. And then at least you had those talking moments, like the Red Wedding, and especially at the time when that got popular, that sort of storytelling wasn't 100% like the zeitgeist. You had like Breaking Bad and Mad Men. It created
a genre.
And people learned the wrong lessons from that, which I think is the important thing to take away. It's not really Game of Thrones' fault that all of this other stuff is as bad as it is. I saw somebody mention that with The Dark Knight recently, where they were blaming that for like the hyper-realistic stuff that we got after that. And it's like, don't blame that movie and say that movie sucks because all these other people...
It's fault that everyone tried to copy it and failed.
So
exactly.
So we got jazz music.
We did. That was the first question I was going to ask about this scene. So we have Lionel and his maester. This is one of my favorite scenes with Lionel in it.
It's a good scene.
I mean, we're right. This is basically the last time. Well, it's one of the last times that we see him, really. Yeah. So I think it's the last time he talks in the in the show. But just adding to his personality. Like with everything that's coming out of his mouth, it's just like more character, and I'm like, this is what I think, Joseph, you were getting at, where it's like I just want more of this. Like
they gave you more. They gave him way more screen time in the show than he has in the book.
Oh, for sure.
And way more characterization too, which I believe is on purpose because he doesn't come back in the next the only two books we have, but he definitely comes back in Dunk's story in a very, very pivotal role. And so getting this in from the beginning is very good.
Yeah. Do you think so? Sorry, I know it's going to take a little while to get through this, I think, but do you think that we'll get, okay, so I don't want to jump ahead too much, but we've had a number of flashbacks in this season. Do you think they're going to try to fill in some gaps with flashbacks of things that don't happen in the novellas in the next couple of seasons?
We are definitely getting flashbacks in season 2, but those are also in the novella. Like a bunch of the book 2 is characters talking about something that happened like 5 years ago, or 5 or 10 years ago. So I can't imagine we don't get flashbacks of that stuff happening.
Mm-hmm.
It's also most of the action. There's not a lot of action in book 2 other than them talking about stuff that happened.
Gotcha. I'm just curious if they're going to try to sort of sew in some... I mean, because I think the guy that played Makar said that he's not coming back for season 2, at least... I mean, they're filming it, yeah. But the question
it's basically
sometimes...
a completely new cast for season 2,
yeah.
if it's book accurate.
I'm just curious if they're going to at least give little tidbits of some of the characters that we've seen here, even if it's just like small cameos in flashbacks.
I think they've said they're not doing.
They're not going to do it.
They're keeping each season self-contained, which is how the novellas are. It's its own little story.
Yeah,
that's a good thing, and also I'm kind of like, dang.
I that's why I said I'm kind of split on it, because I love.
Lionel Baratheon doesn't come back for a while.
Raven
Fossaway doesn't come back in the books that we have.
Yeah. So
not Raymond.
Yeah, I don't think it'll be the last time that we see some of them. We'll see. I guess it just kind of depends on, there's a lot of things outside of them just telling the stories that can happen between
they
now
spent
and...
way too much. They spent way too much time on Lionel to not plan on bringing him back eventually, and we know that he does come back in Dunk's story.
Yeah,
I don't know about Raymond. We don't really know what he does after this.
Just give someone with
maybe he's in one of those outlines.
You know what they need to do is they need to get somebody who's a decent writer, and then just do a fake version of Clarkson's farm, but make it like Fossaway's farm, and just let it be about Raymond
Fossaway's orchard.
Yes, let's just do that. I mean, it doesn't even have to be like
it's
just him and his wife and Sweetfoot, and they're all just hanging out on the farm together, and it's him having to learn how to like keep this orchard going.
He needs the sidekick though, but his character is the sidekick character from Clarkson's farm. So
have his cousin show up every once in a while to like be an antagonist or something. It would be awesome. Oh my gosh.
I would 100% watch that.
So okay, so the jazz music, how'd you guys feel about it?
It was a surprise. I didn't hate it.
Yeah.
It made me laugh. I was like, it kind of works.
I appreciate the comedy in this episode, I think, more than I do in any of the other episodes this season. I feel like it was very sharp. They the wit.
They earned it.
Yeah, exactly. And it just felt like the wittiness and like the way that they did it, and then having that coming up against a lot of the very like dramatic and emotional moments. It didn't feel like either of them were really cutting into each other. And I think you're right, Joseph.
They weren't taking away.
I think it's because they actually did earn it, which is crazy.
Yeah, exactly. I enjoyed the jazz music, just like technically said too. When it came on, I was laughing. I was like, "That's interesting. I dig it."
It's a choice.
Yes,
I know not everybody.
We're getting to it, but I enjoyed this beginning scene with Lionel specifically stating how Baelor risked nothing, which isn't necessarily true. He did risk something, even if it was a low risk. But it's kind of like, I liken it to a quarterback having an agreement with the defensive line, like, hey, y'all aren't going to come after me and sack me. that's kind of what it was with the Knight's Guard being sworn to protect Baelor. Ironically enough, ended up being his brother Makar that accidentally killed him. But
I mean, everything
Lionel makes a really good point.
Was true.
Yeah.
Um,
and he's saying Dunk like, no, screw you. I risked everything.
Yeah, everyone else
you.
on the field risked a whole lot more because they had no problem. And two of them were killed.
I love that.
Yep.
They would have had no problem killing everyone else on the field except for Baelor.
And did y'all catch to? Go ahead, David.
The only thing I was gonna say is I love that he calls him the Apple Boy.
Yeah.
I don't know why that.
At the end of this speech, he says, "We're leaving after the roast," and then it cuts immediately to Baelor.
So that's what I'm saying. It's so people missed it. It's such it's sharp humor.
It's gut wrenching too. It's like, oh, that's funny. Oh no, but that sucks.
But it fits in so perfectly with the theme that they have going about the Targaryens and their relationship with everybody else in this world currently. It's like, yes, it's not just there to like bring Baelor down. It's specifically there to show, like, it's funny, but it's also that to show you that difference there. It's just wonderful.
Yeah, but it's really hard to balance that tonally, and it pulls it off.
Because he goes, and that's what I love about Lionel is like he goes from this very serious moment and then he still has that little bit of like clever humor in him, it's like it still shines through.
It's like a 9/11 joke that was just a little bit too early. You're like, oh, that's really clever. Oh, I shouldn't laugh at that.
So good.
It's too soon.
Oh, it's just like he said it and I was like, so good, dude. Like
Yep.
Read the room.
Especially considering it's coming from him, where he's had these parties earlier in the episodes that if you're not kind of paying attention to it, it'd be like, oh, we're leaving after the roast. Okay. But then it cuts directly.
Cuts directly to that.
Just like technically said, it's like you laugh and then you're like, oh no, I shouldn't be laughing at this. This sucks.
I can't believe this is the show that's got like better comedy moments than most of the stuff that considers itself comedy these days.
100%.
It's crazy. I also do love his interaction with when the Maester's trying to like look at Dunk and he's like, his wounds have mortified, sir. There's nothing that I can do. And he's like, get out of here. He's like,
he's a bad Maester. That was a bit weird though, because he's an old guy, so he's been a Maester for a long time.
Yeah.
It would have made sense if it was just like
they should have gotten a younger guy.
Some young kid. But it was still a very funny scene.
Yeah.
He doesn't know
this morning.
He's going to die. He doesn't know what he's talking about. He's a crap Maester.
I like the morning after mood too of this episode in the beginning.
And everyone is just limping.
Yep. It gives this feeling of this empty feeling of like the morning after a big party. You have this lingering uncertainty about this, everyone's groggy,
a little awkward.
Yeah, you're feeling the weight of everything, the gravity of Baelor's loss, and also this historic, trial of the Seven battle.
There were consequences, and you feel them.
And
and on top of that, I think what's done really well in this, Dunk by Makar and by everyone, even though he's going to be held as a great hero, he's not necessarily held as a great fighter. He isn't the best already. He's still a hedge knight.
It's great that they didn't do that to him, and that like it's even pointed out by Makar in a scene later on.
You've got a lot to learn.
Yep.
I think even does Lionel say something about it too?
Lionel offers.
I think he offers to train him or something.
Gives him
sharpen his steel or something like that.
Two offers by two lords,
and it's funny because it's like what he wanted in the beginning, and by the time it's all said and done, it's not what he wants anymore, and it's sort of
he's giving up his personal wants for something more important. It's a very selfless message.
Yeah.
Yep.
He's doing it for Egg, not for himself.
I like too that they kind of it's kind of a small detail, but I like that all of the characters that you see that were involved in the trial, they're all at like different levels of damage throughout it, and it's interesting how it sort of shows like some of it's like skill level, and then obviously with like Makar it's a little different because it's like that risk reward thing, and then obviously with Baylor it's a little bit different because it was an accident. It wasn't supposed to like turn out like that. So like Dunk being very green and having less experience than everybody else is just like brutal, like what happened to him. And then Raymond's pretty beat up, but obviously he's had some training and kind of proves his worth through the trial. And then I think one of the Kingsguard has a black eye. I thought I saw that on my second watch. It was like it's so quick with some of these cuts. Yeah. And then obviously like Beesbury's dead and we don't get like anything, we get to see his, yeah. So yeah, it is really, I might be wrong about one of the Kingsguard, but it kind of looked like he might have had a black eye, but yeah, just kind of cool that even in a show like this, like they're just adding in those tiny little details here and there that like we talked about before with like the visual storytelling. It's like you get a whole lot of different stuff without them having to tell you these things, which I've found out by cutting some of the stuff from the podcast out, that there's a lot of people that still don't fully understand visual storytelling. They're like, actually it was this, and it's like, yeah, that's explained. Like, do I have to say every tiny little detail, like frame by frame? And
the amount of people who I saw online who were like, "Oh, we finally got an answer to whether or not Dunk was knighted." I was like, it's
staring at your phone, at your phone.
Like,
has to be it.
And
very
he
intentionally
probably
did
was
not get
knighted.
an answer to that question.
Mm-mm.
How stupid.
So Dunk goes to the funeral when it's done, pretty much, to pay his respects. How did you guys feel about this scene with Baylor's son, whose name I have completely forgotten? Is it May? Not May. His name's slipping my mind.
Valar. Is Valar or Valar?
I think you're right.
Something like that. Baylor
that's how it's spelled. I don't know how it's pronounced. Yeah. 2 R's.
Valar.
I like how he's just sitting in grief and kind of wondering, like, why would you be spared, but my father wouldn't, when he was going to be a great king, potentially the greatest Westeros has ever known.
Mm-hmm.
And Dunk has to sit with that, especially with kind of knowing Dunk's character now, his growth, his journey, and realizing, hey, especially if he lied too, that may be weighing on him about being knighted. Like, Baylor got killed because of me, at least from Dunk's perspective.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The conversations are fantastic with him and Valar and with Makar.
Yeah,
they're so good.
And I don't know if I won't spoil it because I do know what happens, but this will probably be the last time we see him. Right. This is probably it for Valar in the show.
Maybe.
Unless they actually like put it to screen or whatever.
Yeah.
Targaryens unfortunately all seem to have pretty tragic endings. Doesn't work out.
Well, I mean, if you've seen the beginning of Game of Thrones,
yeah,
90% of them get killed.
Yeah.
So.
And then we get the scenes we were talking about before. Raymond shows up, gives Dunk an extended hug because he says that everybody blames him for Baylor's death, and he's like, "Well, I don't blame you for that." He's a true friend, and he's like actually being logical about it because in reality, Baylor chose to do that.
Yep, it was his choice.
He didn't have to.
He befriended Dunk because of Dunk's character and genuineness.
Mm-hmm.
but I think I told you, I was texting you the other day that Raymond was the MVP for dunk because he got knighted and by Lionel, and then in that, well, I mean, honestly, leading up, he keeps dunk fed. He beats the crap out of his selfish and corrupted cousin, wins the trial of seven, helped Dunk, like I just said, by knocking Arian off of Dunk when it was looking like, hey, had this not happened, Arian would have gotten the better of Dunk. And then if you notice, as he's still riding away, he looks back to check on Dunk. And when he looks back forward, that's when he gets blasted by his cousin. And so, you know, I mean, just all the way around, Raymond is a good friend. And on top of that, you know, he gets his money up really fast. You know, he was a squire a week ago, and now he's a knight, and he's married.
Yeah,
and starting a business.
And he also managed to break all of Stefan's ribs. So
yeah. He's like so excited.
And
about
got a sweet horse too.
Yeah, he has like such a like childlike excitement when he's like, I think I broke my cousin's ribs. It's so good.
Yeah. I wish we got one shot of Stefan just being hauled away on a stretcher, but
yeah, it's one of the things I think that when it comes to a lot of George's writing, I'm not a huge fan of how often, and I get that it's like a thing, sometimes he loves to sort of like rug pull you with giving you satisfying conclusions for things like that, like lots of setup between, like, you know, you could almost, I was talking about Clegane Bowl beforehand, it's not, I don't know if that's totally George's fault, but you have these things where you're setting up these potential like interactions and these final confrontations with characters. I mean, you could say like I don't know if this is George's fault either. Maybe it is, but I'm keep thinking of stuff that's happening in season 8 of Game of Thrones. But like, people talk a lot about how like Jon should have fought the Night King, and people are building all this like stuff up in their head, and then it's like, oh nope, sorry, you don't get that, or oh no, it's not what you thought it was, and it's just like, oh, and again, it's not really the show's fault, and I like the way that it is, but there's this piece of me that's like, man, there's just moments where you could have given us that little bit of satisfaction there. Like, give us something that's sort of like that comeuppance for his cousin, or I'm sure there's some other ones that we had talked about that I can't remember now.
You do get that in the book, though. Like, he broke a bunch of Stefan's ribs, and it is mentioned in the book.
And maybe it would have. I think it's one of those things that in the show, again, I think this is probably the most valid, like, sort of complaint I've seen about episode 5, is that like the flashback stuff, it's dead. I don't think anybody who was complaining about that really was able to argue anything very substantive about that. The only thing that I did see is someone said that they could have broken up some of that a little bit and had a bit of a flashback when right before he goes to save Tanzel, like when she gets her fingers broken and he goes he goes crazy because there is that parallel between Rafe and Tanzel. And I was like, actually, that's the closest thing that I've seen anyone say that I've been like, yeah, I actually can see your point there. But at the same time, you know, we are where we are. But like, I just like an extra shot of Raymond getting like the upper hand over Stefan would have been nice. Like, just that little bit of extra. And of course I know we got that. Just saying, there's those little bit of extra satisfying moments for stuff that they spent a lot of time building
I could have
up.
used a couple more cutaways to the other fights, but
listen.
Even that being said, like the TV show made the fight a lot longer than it is in the book, or the comic.
Yeah, and
I'm grateful that we got what we got.
And it is really good.
It would have been nice to have more.
It's a really good fight. Like, it's so much fun to watch.
If your complaint about a TV show is, oh, gee, I want more of that, I think it did a pretty good job.
Agreed. Yeah, it's
a good spot.
It's hardly a complaint. It's very much. These are just those little touches that would have been nice to have. It's kind of the stuff that I would prefer to be talking about instead of, why did you butcher this material, or why are all of your characters so stupid and written in a way that is just trying to beeline you towards the end. and they're not making. I mean, I guess it's just like it's crazy, but so much of the reason that I like this is because it's getting all of the writing right, which is just something we don't see very often.
Yeah, well, Danny sort of forgot about the writing. So.
Yeah, even Joseph, what was the name of that movie, that Rian Johnson movie that we talked about? Was that last year?
Which one?
Wake Up Dead Man.
It's
really anything. I mean, it's really anything that he's written, and it's not just him. He's just a bigger example of it, where characters are written and they do stupid things, or they do things that are potentially out of character in order to get to the ending that the writers wanted. Mm-hmm. And it's
writing a story backwards.
Mm-hmm, it's a lazy way of doing it. Like, you're not letting the story sort of, like, it's fine to have your ending, but you need everything else to work around that to get to where you're going.
You need to build to the ending, not tumble down on top of it.
Yeah. You're not like trying
to. It's not a Plinko board.
Yeah, exactly. You need to have like your through line almost, and then like everything that's happening around it is supporting where you're trying to go with it. And they just, it's like a character will specifically do something that's so unrealistic or like out of pocket for them, just so you can get it. And it just becomes really, really obvious with shows that they're not putting that like love and attention into the characters.
It's the Robin gets another shot. It's in the script.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You know that reference, right?
No, I haven't.
Robin of Men in Tights.
No, I don't know it either.
Oh,
okay. Sorry. Sometimes I
no.
expect people to know that quoting.
You know what's funny is I have that whole like Mel Brooks collection, and I watched that I think last year, and I don't even remember that.
Robin of Men in Tights. Yeah. He gets beaten. He's like, wait, I can't lose. He pulls out the script. I get another shot. Robin gets another shot. Yes, he does. Like, it happens because it needed to happen, not because you earned it or built towards it. And so it's not satisfying when it does happen.
Here's a quick thing that's kind of in line with that.
And it's also just being built in chronological order versus in a sense of realness and authenticity. That it goes back to what Trey Parker and Matt Stone said, and then this happened, and then this happened, and then this happened, instead of therefore this happened, or but this happened. So
that comment about the House of the Dragons.
Yeah, so it's Zeke the Freak in the troll room saying, going from A Night of the Seven Kingdoms, where pretty much everything has been real treat for lore fans, back to House of the Dragon is going to be tragic. We don't have to wait till the end to like talk about it. How are we? That trailer came out.
Good news. I think it's good news because they started doing House of Dragon season 3 reshoots like 4 weeks ago.
Yeah, not too long ago.
And I think it was in reaction to the reception of A Night of the Seven Kingdoms. Because they released the trailer, and then a week later they said, yeah, we're still doing some reshoots.
Yeah, we got some stuff we're trying to take care of.
And I think a lot of it's going to be interior stupid dialogue with that, just making it less dumb, you know?
Are they gonna get rid of what's that? What's her name? You know exactly who I'm talking about. It's not Wade.
Oh yes, what's her name?
The White Snake, something like that.
Yeah, maybe the
White Witch.
Knows. No,
she the Viper.
The lady that sort of has the love triangle thing. Yeah, she kisses Rhaenyra and is not a very good actress. And they're forcing her into the White Worm. That's what it was. I was thinking like waif or whatever.
I was close.
Yeah. Something wiggly.
We all know who we're talking about. Yeah,
it's funny, man, because I used to know like every character in that. Like when Joseph and I were like really deep into like season 1 and looking forward to season 2. It's just like be able to pop off the things. And now I'm like, I remember a couple of their names.
Yeah.
We were like, what's the,
Yes.
what was her first husband?
I enjoyed season 2 more than, I didn't complain about it as much. It definitely has its flaws, right?
For
and
sure.
Most of it is
It's
stupid dialogue scenes with the White Worm and Rhaenyra,
it's
right?
a mixed bag.
But the flaw was never the action, right? Like you got that awesome dragon fight and my favorite fight, which is the two twins who's, oh man, I can't remember their names.
Yeah.
The twin fight I think is done better in the show than it is in the book. Like the book gives you like 6 different accounts. Some say this happened, some say this happened, and I think the version that we got is the best possible outcome. But yeah, it definitely got a little woke.
Yeah.
And I think they've seen the writing on the wall. I think they're changing that. And it was also structurally shot in the foot because it was supposed to end with the Battle of the Gullet, and they were told like during production, "Hey, no, we're going to give you an extra season, and so you got to stretch it out." And so that's why
I thought it was also
no finale.
I thought it was also the writers' strike was going on then, and
there was
something
a
else
couple
too.
things that happened.
That I don't know how much
there's
that
a couple
would have
things as well.
I don't know how much that would have affected the show at the time because
it would have ended on a higher note.
Maybe there was like a little bit of something there, but typically like I feel like season 2 was like ready to go, and that they held back the Battle of the Gullet. It's hard to remember at this point, but they just cut those 2 episodes basically. Yeah, and they were like, well, this is what you're getting.
I don't think it was
the last episode of season 1. The last episode of season 1 was Rhaenyra saying, getting all pissed off, saying, "Oh, we're going to do this," and then the whole season is, "Oh, let's hold the brakes."
There's literally a parody.
Yeah, pulling the rug out from underneath you. I agree with you. I agree with you on that, but I don't think it was the showrunner's choice to cut those episodes. I think that came from
that's not what I'm saying. I want to say
executives.
Like, were those episodes shot already? Because that was at least what the impression that I was under. Was that
I think they did film some of the Gullet, but then I don't think they finished it because it happened mid-production,
and they were just like scrap it and put it in the next season. Okay. Well, either way, it was
I think
it was
there's
still probably
stuff
a
that
bad call.
Still, it sucks. You still have to judge what they released.
Exactly.
But it does suck. In any sense, that rug pull of ending season 1 with Rhaenyra being menacing. Oh, I'm about to go ape on everyone.
Yep.
And then it's a complete tonal shift. And at the start of the season, it's like, what?
It was flawed. I still think the stuff that's the good stuff in there is really good, though.
I'm gonna that this is done.
I still enjoyed season 2.
I'm gonna go back and watch both seasons again before this comes out because I
enjoyed Damon at that castle. What was it? Where was he at again?
He's at Harrenhal.
Harrenhal.
Right?
That's it.
There's a lot of good stuff in that. Yeah, I know people are like, "Oh, he spent the whole season like walking around." There's a lot of good stuff in there. There's a lot of interesting.
He didn't have anything to do in the book either. Until the fighting starts. So.
Yeah, it's like either he just you're right, and I think people probably would have complained either way. Like if he wasn't in a lot of the season, I would have complained if he wasn't in the season. But like, what are you doing with Matt Smith? What's he? What's going on? And I'd rather have them like try to do some interesting stuff with him.
I'm glad they gave him something to do, so he was still on screen because he's the best part of the show.
He really is. He really is.
And to defend a teeny bit of the White Worm, who was a bad actress and most of her scenes were garbage, I didn't even have a problem with the lesbian stuff because I think it actually fixes a problem that I had with the books. There's some very important stuff that happens later on. There's some contention between Darian and the White Worm that comes completely out of nowhere. And you're like, why did that? I don't understand why this happened. And this explains it. Is her kind of trying to weasel her way into Rhaenyra's graces.
Yeah.
100% explains what happens later in the book.
Cool. Makes sense that they would,
I'm okay with it.
We'll see. Yeah, I'm not like... I guess it's kind of the I'm where I was at the beginning of Night of the Seven Kingdoms, where I'm like,
it's got to win you back.
Let me see what you got, and yeah, you can go back and like listen to those first ones in that first episode, and Joseph and I are like, I was like, what'd you think, Joseph? He's like, yeah, it was all right, and I was like, yeah, it was all right, like it's pretty good start, and like as it's gone on, it's just been like, dude, this is so good,
building.
It's so good.
That's where I'm at with everything though. Like,
yeah,
anything I'm consuming, it's gotta earn my trust. I'm not giving anything the benefit of the doubt anymore.
Yeah, we're the same way. Maybe Joseph, we were just talking about this, but like my rule of thumb now is like I'm done with Rotten Tomatoes. I don't care what IMDb gave, whatever. Like all of that stuff, the critics. You can tell me something's a 10 out of 10. Like this is more my wheelhouse, but like Resident Evil Requiem's coming out in a couple days. It's getting 10s and 9s and 9.5s. Everybody's loving it, and I'm like, doesn't matter. I got to play it. It's like I don't care what any of y'all think about this. It's like I have to get my hands on it, or I have to watch it myself, and I can at least try to give you a detailed understanding of the things that I like and the things that I don't like about it. Because there's just too much in like the hype train or whatever.
Is Zach Kriegler still doing a Resident Evil thing?
He said, yeah, and he has carte blanche. Yeah, I think I want to say they're done.
It's not the one that's coming out right now, right? That's a different thing.
No, this is a video,
I don't know
video
anything
game.
about
No,
Resident
you're good.
Evil.
So this is technically Resident Evil. Yeah,
game.
Requiem's
Okay.
Resident Evil 9. So Leon Kennedy's back. Like they're going back to Raccoon City, which may or may not be lore breaking at this point. I don't know how much that really matters. Like I'm not a hardcore like deep into the lore. I just have enjoyed playing these games since I was like 13 or whatever. So, but yeah, and then Zach, he's doing that movie, and to be honest, at this point, I feel like Resident Evil is just the punching bag of Hollywood when it comes to video game movies. We're never going to get a proper adaptation of the first game. Everyone is always trying to put their spin on it. The Paul W.S. Anderson, right? Because Paul Anderson's the guy who's like considered a good filmmaker. His stuff is like campy, and there's stuff that I like about it, but they're terrible and not any, it's not what people who actually like those games wanted to see. And I just don't think we're ever actually going to get someone to do a good, faithful adaptation of that. We got that awful television show a couple of years ago with like Black Wesker and like the dancing lady from Umbrella. She does like a little musical towards the end of the show. Joseph, did you ever actually end up watching that, or did I just explain that show to you? I don't even remember at this point.
What show was it?
Resident Evil, the one that came out on Netflix a couple of years ago.
No, I didn't watch it.
Okay, it is
I
one.
saw the dance scene. That's all I saw.
Yeah, that clip of Wesker has done wonderful numbers for our channel. We still get people messaging us about that, being like, "What is this?"
Oh, it's a Resident Evil.
Mm-hmm. But it's the punching bag of Hollywood, man. They just will not. I want to see what he does with it, because he's
interesting.
Yeah, he's an interesting filmmaker.
Whether or not it's faithful, it'll be an interesting movie.
Yeah, so we'll see. But I just don't have any hope in that.
I wonder if Hollywood's going to learn anything from the Night of the Seven Kingdoms. Speaking of Resident Evil, David, and how unfaithful it is. If they're going to be like, oh, maybe we should be more faithful to the source material going forward. Look how popular this is.
So is Brandon Sanderson the next like litmus test for that? Is he like for like his stuff with like Mistborn?
I mean, he's poisoned his own well there, but he's already talked about changes that he's going to write into Mistborn.
Okay,
with gender swaps and for stupid reasons.
Yeah, we're definitely still that.
Wind and Truth was garbage.
That pendulum hasn't fully swung yet, as far as them like getting back to realizing a lot of the decisions they've made have been bad. I just saw a trailer for this movie coming out on Amazon Prime, maybe this month or next month, about these ballerinas that go to like Belarus or something like that, and they have to use their training to like kill a whole bunch of people. And I was like, I'm gonna check this out. I'll probably end up turning it off 10 minutes in, because it's already like, now this scenario is already out the door.
I feel like in the last week I've seen 6 different trailers for different things that looked like the same thing to me.
Yeah.
It was a bunch of there was some kind of trailer for like 2 strong independent black ladies who are doing a
they got
revenge
burned.
flick.
Yeah, they got burned by their neglected father
There
or
was
whatever.
some
Like,
kind of trailer for like Hail Mary or something like that. Some pirate lady.
That's Bloody Mary.
Flick. Bloody Mary. Sorry, not Hail Mary. Obviously, yeah.
Hail Mary. I actually do want to see.
Bloody Mary. I don't know. I just saw a lady jumping through the air.
It's Priyanka Chopra.
I don't know who that is.
That's Joe Jonas's wife. She was in FBI.
The Jonas Brothers. Oh,
yeah, she's married to one of them. Is it Joe? I don't know. The Jonas Brothers were after my time, but she was in FBI or something. And she's just kind of like a, kind of pretty lady. Oh, she was in Citadel, that show that was like Amazon put together that was worth like a ton of money, and it just like bombed after the first season.
I did not watch that.
Yeah. Joseph, you watched that whole season, right? I think I only finished like one episode.
Which season?
That show Citadel that Amazon put out a couple years ago around the same time Rings of Power was coming out. I just and then
unfortunately
they were gonna make
the Russo
it.
Brothers, wasn't it?
Yeah, dude.
It was like the second most expensive show at the time.
It was I'm pretty sure it was the Russos.
It was one of the brothers.
Yep, it was.
And
it was the Russo brothers.
Not the Duffers.
They put a ton of money behind it because they were going to make this whole universe. It was going to be like one of Amazon's big things. It got one season and I think a spin-off movie, and none of it ever went anywhere. Just completely died on the spot. So I don't know if anyone's going to learn anything from this. My guess
it will probably take time.
My guess would be no. I don't know if this is going to move the needle for not only the creatives but the people in charge who are like making the
I think Hollywood knows that it's been rejected. I don't know if they're smart enough to change.
No, they're definitely not smart enough.
Yeah.
Half of them don't know what Tourette's is.
I'd be remiss if I didn't bring this up because I don't have that much longer. But
no, you're good.
One of the aspects that I enjoyed about this episode, but the series as a whole, is this play on masculinity and showing what true knighthood is, but then also the chivalry behind that and what true masculinity is, and that being masculine doesn't mean that you keep all your emotions inside, but it does mean that you keep your emotions under control and that you can still cry and be upset and still have those under control, depending on the situation. Like, it's okay to not have control if you're losing your father, right, your father figure. But I enjoy that Dunk rejects that men don't cry trope, and it from time he's a boy to being a teenager to being a man to even in this episode, he's really countering how Westeros is filled with just cruelty, political scheming, a
few years
selfishness, that nihilistic hedonism, where everyone's just pursuing their own pleasure because there's no meaning in this universe. And Dunk stands in stark contrast to that, and that showcased it in the first episode. And I'm very interested to go back and start this from beginning to end. Because
it's good.
You see his character. I'm just thinking back, like with Lionel Baratheon. When Dunk first goes in there, Lionel's completely confused by his presence. And I think he makes a line like, "Are you here to have my head?" Because he's thinking that Dunk is trying to kill him, but Dunk is like, "What? I'm just here because of the free food, dude." and that wins Lionel over.
He's like, because you want something from me or you want to kill me. So which is it? That's the line. Yeah.
Let's hit a couple of these like major points, and then I want to get y'all's like final numbered ratings, and then we'll get out of here.
Yeah. On masculinity, though, there is that stark contrast, right? Because the left's understanding of masculinity is Aerion Targaryen, and the right is Sir Duncan the Tall. So, That's what they think of. Yeah, it's a perfect.
I would say
that's why it's so satisfying. But
depends. Yeah, it's complicated.
I would say I wouldn't label the right as saying that is Circuit Duncan the Tall. I don't think that's right. I think the right would probably. I think Makar would be a better example of what they think.
Oh, like
if we're going from maybe if we're going from like a political perspective, the left and the right are definitely the more. I'm trying to think of another word besides toxic. The more less cared for political scheming sides of these different groups who they're willing they say that they have specific things in mind, but a lot of it is backstabbing, and they're willing to go against those morals in order to get the thing done that they want to. It's almost more House of the Dragon than it is a Knight of the Seven Kingdoms.
I didn't really mean to frame it.
No, you're good.
I'm just being like,
you're good.
Is the definition of of toxic masculinity, which is what the left says all men are.
Yeah,
but that's not what we strive to be, right? We try to be more like Duncan.
There's unfortunately a group of people that believe that anyone who doesn't specifically fall in line with them and would disagree on pretty much any topic with them is to essentially, like you're saying, to the right of them. It doesn't matter what you believe. It doesn't matter if you completely disagree with someone else who they consider on that side. Like if you're not with them, you're against them. And I think that's I think that's probably where you're getting at. From that at least from that perspective, to some degree, I agree, because it's like, and and for me, and Joseph and I have talked about in this past, it's like the tree beard thing for me. It's like, well, no one is on my side, so like I am not on anybody's side. Like I feel very displaced from most of those things, and our whole like thing and no one understood this for the longest time. And I think we made kind of a decision a couple of years ago to sort of like pull away from the quote unquote like politics side of things so much. We still bring it up every once in a while, or we still make fun of it, and like I have like memes and ISOs of like politicians saying stupid things. And this is something that I got from Gary early on, and it became kind of like our motto for the show early on, was like, politics ruins everything. And people would be like, well, everything is inherently political, and then you have to have this debate with a smooth brain about
political, then yes.
and they're confusing like in-world politics and the things that the story is using for dramatic effect and all of that with like what's happening in their like modern setting, and being like, these are the same thing. And it's like, that's not a nuanced opinion.
Politics. You can have fake politics in the story that don't have to be analogous to anything.
Exactly. And so they're like, well, that's ruining your story. And it's like, no, you dummy.
Lord of the Rings. Tolkien notoriously hated allegory. We've drawn plenty of allegory from his story, but that's because it resonates with truth, because it's a good story. And so, yes, you can take a message from it, but he wasn't trying to say, this is the message of my story.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
All right, so let's go through this real quick.
You can't
Sorry.
pull something from it.
Makar, how did you guys feel about this scene with
it's the
him
best
and Dunk?
scene in the show. It's so good.
And he says, some men will say that I meant to kill my brother. I put the subtitles on.
Does he get the line in here? Sorry, because I've read it. I've consumed this in 6 different ways. The book, comic book, audiobook, TV show. Do they get the line in the show where he says, I don't even remember the stroke that probably killed my brother?
No, it's one of the things I've heard people will say that they wish. It's the other line people wish they put in, but he does get the.
He's kind of get that.
To be honest, I'm not even sure. I don't remember the stroke that would have killed him. Because you kind of fall into a battle frenzy, and then on top of that he says, and I don't know if that's a blessing or a curse.
And I
think Dunk actually thinks that. He says, oh, maybe it's a blessing you don't remember, but also maybe not.
And I think the show implies a lot of that. And I'm sure, again, they had discussions about some of these lines and whether they wanted to keep. And this is what I appreciate about the show, is that it does feel intentional with a lot of this stuff, that they are really going like, do we need to have all of this here, or is there enough here that implies that he's clearly grieving about this, and that it was a mistake, and there was no intention to harm his brother, even though that's what people will think. Because he says the gods know it's a lie, but I'll hear whispers. And then he also says
so
that,
will you, Dunk.
And he says that Dunk will too.
Anytime anything goes wrong, they'll say,
Wait, hang on. I thought I just saw...
Baylor never would have let this happen.
Yeah, and that's the other...
The hedge knight killed him.
Mm-hmm.
It's so good.
Very, very good.
You will hear them.
And then he asks him to take on Egg as a squire, and then there's a place for him at Harrenhal. And we talked about it before that this is the second time he's being offered, not only to basically be legitimized as a knight, regardless of whether he was knighted or not. Like, everyone believes it now, and so he says he has a place for him. And he'll get trained, and he basically tells him that he's done with princes. Like, he's had enough of this, which makes a lot of sense.
I think Makar's performance here and in this episode as a whole is just really particularly strong.
Mm-hmm.
In this, he's trying to convey his grief while also fearing for how his son may grow up to be. And he's saying, you see, hey, I'm not a perfect father, but I'm trying. And that's why he makes this offer to Dunk, because maybe you'll be able to raise Egg in a way that is better than I could. And so almost like giving up your son for a better chance at his son having becoming a man with greater character.
Yeah. And what do you... So, technically, you've read the books. You thought the change was, like, fine, where he doesn't give him permission? Like, did you see any...
It creates a tiny problem for later books, but I don't think it's that big of a deal. I think they can explain it away.
He has this...
I think it's in character that Egg would do that. It's also...
Yeah, it's, at the show, I mean, at least from the show's perspective, it's completely in character. It's kind of... It circles back around, right? We're kind of getting the ending that... The same kind of ending that started this whole thing in the first place, which adds, like, that sense of humor. And we'll get to that.
Yep.
Because that last line is so funny.
It's very good. I think it works. He gives them his signet ring as kind of like a get out of jail free card, and so now it's implied that Egg stole that from his father because he doesn't have it on in that last scene.
They'll account for it. I think I was going to mention this earlier, but I would not be surprised if they, in season 2, account for the line that Steely Pate doesn't say in season 1.
A knight who remembers his vows.
Mm-hmm. It'll happen. I think they'll put it in as a wink, like a, hey guys, like, sorry about that. Like, here you go. The clip, honestly, I mean, like the scene
I
exists.
think keeping it out actually made that scene a little bit, even though that's the best line. Like, they've got the message across in the show, like we were saying before. And it made that episode like more bleak, right? There wasn't like he's going to his doom, and it's not until Baylor shows up that tension gets relieved.
Yeah.
And in the book, there's a little bit of hope with that line. He shows up, he sees the audience, so many people here to see me die, and then they start kissing him. He's like, who am I to them?
Yeah.
Steely Pate. And he remembers his vows. So, like, I kind of liked that there was no reprieve before the storm.
Because that whole 5th episode is quite bleak.
Yeah, it's a doom. It's a funeral dirge.
Mm-hmm. And I think compared to the rest of the season, it's fine. Like, I think it works really well as like that you get that little, like, that episode that's pretty much like a low point. There is some like hope in it, but it's very like, it's as dirty and gritty as the actual fight is. And I kind of appreciate that. Dunk and Egg have like a quick little conversation right here where Egg tells him he doesn't think maybe he's not the knight that he thought that he was. And then we get a flashback that we talked about a little bit before with Arlen telling the story. He's telling the story of the pennies on the tree, right? And I think he's told him this story before. and then we get hit this again. This episode's got some of my favorite like comedy moments in it because I guess this is like it's almost hard for me to explain why these kind of things work here in these serious moments, and maybe again it's like Joseph was saying early on, they're earned. But we think he's dead, and it's that moment of thinking, oh well, we get our answer, and then he immediately jumps back and he's like, oh, and then he finished his story, and this is that line that you were talking about, technically, where he says a knight always finishes his story.
I like this flashback. It falls perfectly within the episode.
Mm-hmm. Oh, there it was. A true knight always finishes his story.
It goes back to that fatherhood and Sir Arlen being a beloved mentor and father figure for Dunk, even though he was flawed, he drank, he slept around, and wasn't particularly a great knight. But the fact that he did all he could for Dunk comes to this place of acceptance of who Sir Arlen was, at least in my view. The end of this episode.
I was slightly surprised at the reception of Sir Arlen of Pennytree. I think he is the stealth favorite character of a lot of people in this show.
He was really good.
And maybe there's some truth to the fact that like father figures don't exist in this medium anymore, not nearly as much. We could have gotten one with at least season 1 of The Last of Us, but
I think it just the reason why Sir Arlen may be people's secret favorite character is the real life experience of young men realizing their fathers necessarily aren't perfect heroes. Because at first, when you're a little kid, you view your father as perfect, and then you come to realize, oh, your father has all these flaws, and then you come to this point after that of being thankful for your father, realizing that, hey, even though he wasn't perfect, he did the best he could to raise a good man and to allow me to pursue a better life and to be better than him.
He's one of the someone had pointed this out, and something I really do like about Sir Arlen is that he potentially exaggerated some of his feats, with like the 7 lances versus the 4 or whatever. And
every good story deserves a bit of embellishment.
A little bit of embellishment, and you want to. You're trying to instill something in, like for him, in Dunk, and so giving him this idea of like who Arlen was and sort of like that greatness. It's that little bit of embellishment, and to help him see what he could be. And it's really good. Yeah, he's very flawed, but he clearly cares, and he saw something in Dunk, and it's cool. And it's not quite the last we'll see of Arlen. We're almost done. We get Beesbury's funeral with the coffin surrounded by bees, and we see Egg's. His name's slipping my mind again too. Egg's other brother, Darren. Thank you. Doesn't have much here really. I didn't really feel one way or another about him coming back. Like, I kind of thought we would get a little bit more with him. I don't know if you guys feel a specific way about that, but here's Beesbury's his coffin.
Yeah, I thought it was all right.
I like the conversation with Raymond. He's like, how'd they get all those bees on there? Is it some kind of magic? They're just like having a conversation about bee magic. Thought that was good. And then Egg. What did you guys think about this scene with Egg and his brother?
I like it. It's hinting at, hey, there's a darkness in Egg too.
Mm-hmm.
But he doesn't have to go down that path. And I like that his dad doesn't even say anything to him.
Yep.
He just holds him, and you're like, oh gosh, it's just good. It's a good scene.
He gets.
And you got the dialogue with his dad with Makar earlier too. He knows his sons are lost. He tells Dunk, Egg is my last
son. It's very intentional.
I've already lost the other three.
And I like it a lot. I've seen a lot of people praising Egg's actor's performance in this.
Really good.
And people just shocked. I mean, this is like maybe the exception to the rule. Time might tell of like kid actors actually being able, with the right training, he kills it. He's great in the show. I don't think anyone has been like he's annoying or that's a lot.
We're all okay with child labor as long as it's entertainment.
Yeah, as long as it's good.
Child labor.
It's great. Again, flawed fathers, but they want what's best for their children. Like you guys were saying before, it's a rare thing, and it's cool to see. And they don't have to spend like a ton. He doesn't have to like spend part of the episode lecturing Egg about blah blah blah, and they don't have to have a big conversation about why he should go with Dunk versus why he shouldn't. We don't need all of that. We get one last moment with what is her name technically? She doesn't have a name in the books, right? It's
the Ashford.
Yeah.
Something Ashford.
Yeah,
something Ashford.
It was her birthday.
I can't remember.
I can't remember either. It's not really important to the episode. She just.
I don't think you ruined my birthday.
Yeah, it's funny because that's one of those. It's funny that that's in there too because it's one of the memes that's been going around. That it's like her father wants to give her this like big like celebration, invites all of these knights, has a tournament, a prince dies. They have the first trial of the 7 in over like 100 years. It's like a bloodbath. It's like happy birthday. Dunk says that he'll squire, but he has he gives Makar kind of like an ultimatum with that, and he turns him down. And you guys just stop me if you have anything that you want to add on to here, and we'll get to this last little bit. It's pretty much the end. We talked about this before, but we get Dunk.
This is why the conversation with Darren was important, because Darren is the one who kind of gives him the idea that Egg needs you.
Egg, yeah. Mm-hmm. So. And then we get the reunion of Dunk and Sweetfoot, which was great. It hit for me a little bit more the second time, I think, because like you kind of know, for whatever reason, like watching it the second time, you get that like context a little bit more. And Raymond comes in one last time to be the, as Joseph would call him, the MVP.
Yes.
And buys Sweetfoot back for Dunk, and then Dunk does the right thing and allows Sweetfoot to retire and eat apples.
He's a real G.
Mm-hmm. Go spend the rest of his days at a Fossaway orchard. And it's great. And it's this is what I'm talking about, is like with these like satisfying conclusions. It's like they kind of have that setup, and then he has to sell the horse, and then the connection between Raymond and Dunk kind of brings this all back around, and then he lets Sweetfoot go. As kind of like that gesture and a thank you to Raymond for everything that he's done, because it's kind of all that he can do for him. It's like Dunk doesn't really have much. He didn't win any tournaments. He didn't win anybody's armor that he could sell back to buy Sweetfoot back, and so it's like his way of giving back to him. It's great. It's great. He puts his penny in the tree that he was sleeping under. Is that technically, is that like a thing that he does in the books?
I don't remember it.
It's
been a while since I read the book.
It's cool. I was just kind of curious if like this was going to be a recurring thing for him. Like the places that he goes, he leaves a penny behind.
No, but that was him leaving Sir Arlen's penny.
Yeah.
He pulled it out of the sword and left it there. So that's not like a...
Well, because Arlen's talking about how like that's what they did in their hometown, so I didn't know if it had any more like significance.
No, that was like him saying goodbye to Sir Arlen.
Yeah, fair enough. And Egg shows up and lies to him again. It says that his dad said that he was going to squire for him. And then
how do y'all feel about the lie that, like, based off of their first interaction in episode 1, it was a lie of a sin of omission, whereas this one's a sin of commission?
I don't.
Well,
How do you?
Yeah, it might be similar because like he knows his dad wanted. He says he doesn't say my dad said I could go. He said my dad says I'm to squire for you.
Mm-hmm.
Right. But it is
That's a good
definitely
point.
more commission than omission.
Yeah, Egg is
But
very.
it feels like he's beating around the bush. Like
Yeah, Egg is very clever, and he like the language that they use for him in this, and the way that he talks to Dunk is very intentional. Because
he's very much one of those kids of, well, technically I didn't lie.
Yeah, exactly. Like he's almost too smart for his own good.
My dad did say I was going to squire for you,
and we see that because it gets
that was
Dunk
before you said no.
It gets Dunk in trouble a lot.
Yep. It's funny how Dunk wouldn't go check with Makar just to make sure.
It is, and again, it's that thing with like Dunk still being
really
green.
Dumb.
Yeah, he's still a bit green. He's learned some about the world, but he still hasn't figured everything out. And I like that. It's a great dynamic for the two of them.
Thick as the castle wall.
And we get like that final moment with Arlen, Sir Arlen with them, and he goes off, and now they are the knight and squire together, and they have that conversation about the
7 kingdoms.
The night of, it's like the 9 kingdoms versus the 7 kingdoms, and it's funny. I didn't see many people talking about it other than kind of appreciating the comedy of it. Yeah. But there's like one lore channel that I've watched quite a few of like their videos, and he was like, well, technically, and I was like, all right, man, like I get it, it's what you do, but it's supposed to just be it's kind of a funny thing. I don't think you're supposed to take like,
no, it's a joke.
Yeah,
like there were, if you want to know, there were 7 kingdoms when the Targaryens conquered, right? Except they conquered every kingdom but Dorne. So Dorne, it takes great pride in their kind of independence, even though they're kind of grandfathered in. So there were 7 kingdoms.
It was
they changed the borders and created a kingdom around King's Landing. That's kind of a new kingdom, but doesn't belong to anyone. It just because they needed resources, and then they split. The Iron Islands and the Riverlands used to be one kingdom, but it got split into 2. I can't remember what it was originally called.
I like the detail with Dorne, and again, like talk about something else that kind of the ball got dropped with Game of Thrones.
Oh yeah.
But I like the detail that Dorne held out for so long that like marriage proposals was pretty much the only way that they could, because it was Baelor's mother, right? Makar and Baelor's mother. She's Dornish. And that was the.
I think so. Yes.
Because he's only technically he's only half Targaryen, and that's why he has like the darker
he's
hair.
Half Dornish.
And his son too. It's like a nice little detail as far as like the history of everything that's gone on in the world. That you have all of the conquest and all the things going on, but occasionally it's just like, well, we have to like settle. We have to find a way to like make this work. It's kind of a cool detail. And that's pretty much it. And then the last thing that we get is Makor looking for his son again, and he's like, "Where is he?" And then the show pretty much ends. It was great. he's oh my gosh, it's so good. It's so funny to me. I didn't think I would. I didn't expect Makor to be like as interesting as he turned out to be in the show. Like when he first comes on the scene, it's like Baelor's there. He's the one who's got the presence in the room. He's the hand of the king. He's all these things, and then obviously he's out at the end, and it's awesome to see like the actor and like the way that they really like handle him well in this, and he's not just like this one-dimensional dude who's kind of not a great father to his kids. It was cool. Sorry, what were you gonna say?
Mm-hmm. No, he's great. There's not a bad character in the story. They're all interesting.
I think I agree. Like it you know, I hope it's not lightning in a bottle.
Same.
The other two books are pretty darn good too.
We'll see.
I just worry still, you know.
You think I wasn't worried about this?
Oh man, I'll say
I'm still worried.
Joseph, I don't know where you were. I think going into this, I thought it probably won't be bad. It'll probably just be fine.
That's I think we landed both in the same spot.
And I think by the
That's
time
be all right.
At this point, I'm like, it's going to take a lot for anything this year to beat it. I just don't know. And what's interesting, and it's kind of in a weird way a good year for like fantasy fans, because we're getting this, we're getting House of the Dragon, and not on a great note, but it'll probably be good for like the content. We're probably getting Rings of Power this year too, right? So
I think they said it comes out in 2027.
Is it next year? I thought I saw something.
I can't remember. It's ridiculous how long it's been.
They have to do it this year. I mean, it's not going to do well regardless, but they're going to.
I think it's 27, dude.
They're going to get.
I think it's early 2027.
The only people watching that next season's going to be like us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's going to be like 100 people watching the show. Eric's going to be like, this is still a thing? That's crazy. That's crazy if they wait another year to do that. Regardless of when it comes out, like I just don't know what else this year. I mean, House of the Dragon.
Where we get Marvel.
Doomsday, right? Yeah, we're getting Doomsday. Daredevil, which won't be good.
We get a Scrubs reboot this week that I'm optimistic for. The trailer didn't look half bad.
I have every season of that on DVD. I was obsessed with it in high school, and it worries me.
We get Mandalorian and Grogu.
Oh no!
You're not excited about that?
Joseph's excited about Mandalorian and Grogu.
We get the Odyssey.
100% excited.
Which I'm even more worried about.
Joseph, are we going to
counting down the days?
Yeah, are we going to see Odyssey? Is that something we got to cover that, right? It's
we got to cover it.
Yeah. We got to cover that.
Hey,
it's
you were asking
bad.
about comedies though, so I got to plug. It's one of the best things I've ever seen in my life. Definitely the best comedy of the decade. Maybe the last two, because I can't remember the last time Hollywood made a good comedy. It has a very limited release. It's probably hard to find, but if you can find a screening for Nirvana, the band, the show, the movie,
I've heard of it.
Watch it.
It's good. Okay.
It is so funny. So I love Matthew Johnson, the director, and I've seen the TV show. And this is more of that, but you also don't need any context to watch and enjoy it. Okay. I took my brother, and this is the first thing he's seen. I've seen everything the man has made, and I love him. And my brother was the entire theater was laughing out loud. And let's see, like the last good comedy, which was the first one in a long time, was like Naked Gun. It was okay.
Yeah, I couldn't get through it. Did we talk about that?
There were a couple jokes that got like visceral reactions out of me, right? Like uncontrollable laughter, a handful. And then the rest of the movie was chuckles. Like, oh, that's clever. I like that. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
This movie, uncontrollable laughter the entire time. It's like there's a joke every minute, and it's clever. But the entire theater was roaring. It is so freaking funny.
Okay.
You gotta watch it.
Okay. I'll check it out. I'm writing it down right now.
Yes.
My brother said that is the best like independent movie I've ever seen.
Whoa, that's high praise.
It is.
Yeah, it's Matthew Johnson. I don't know if you've heard of him. He basically invented a filmmaking technique called guerrilla filmmaking, where he shoots first and asks permission later.
Let me see. That's funny.
You should watch his entire filmography. I think you'd like him a lot.
Okay.
He made a movie where he tricked NASA in real life.
Operation Avalanche.
Operation Avalanche.
Okay, I'm gonna save his page.
He told them he was making a documentary about the moon landing, and asked them, "Hey, just so it looks cool, do you want to put on this period appropriate clothing?" And gave real interviews with them, pretending like he was filming this, and then repurposed the footage so that he could make a movie about the FBI faking the moon landing. It's genius.
That's awesome.
It's super good.
Sweet. It's saved.
Nirvana the band is a show. It's just him and his friend, and it's episodic. Every episode is they're trying to get a show at the Rivoli, which is a tiny venue across the street from their apartment. And they're willing to do anything except actually write music and even just call and ask if they can play at the Rivoli. So every episode is a new scheme, like a new get-rich scheme to get famous so they can get a show at the Rivoli. It is amazing.
Awesome. Technically, is there anything that you want to plug before we head out?
Other than Nirvana the band, the show, the movie, I'm just reading comic books with my brother on my show, on my channel, and live streaming every Saturday.
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah.
What time on Saturdays?
7 p.m. MST.
You guys changed that,
Nice.
right?
So 9
Yeah,
9
doing
p.m.
Sundays.
Eastern time.
And now we're doing Saturdays.
Yes.
We've been doing Saturdays for a while now, so
9 p.m. Eastern time, 8
they're
p.m.
probably all
Central time,
God.
7 p.m. Mountain time, and 6 p.m.
Oh,
Pacific
sorry.
time.
I just accidentally clicked
That is
on
how time works.
your, one of your old live streams. I'm gonna put this in.
Although I just found out that their Daily Wire is pushing back the release of their finale to next week.
Oh,
which is a weird choice.
That's right. You like that, right? That was something else I was going to ask you about.
It's flawed. I'm enjoying it.
Okay.
Quite a bit.
I'm gonna check it out.
I like the books too. I think the books are fantastic. The show, it has no right to be as good as it is.
Yeah.
It's not perfect. They've done a pretty impressive job. So.
Does it feel like budget wise? Just curious because I haven't seen much about it other than that like first trailer.
You can tell it's kind of like watching House of David. Like you can tell, yeah, the budget was small, but they're using it wisely. There's one shot in the first episode that is disgusting. That you're like, you should have just not put this in at all, or covered it in trees or something. But that's a bad CGI shot. But then there are some that are actually impressive. Like there's the destruction of Atlantis.
dang.
It's very short, but they made it look really good. So yeah, and for the most part, the action choreography is okay. I've spotted some mistakes, but the story is good. The acting is really good. Yeah.
Awesome. Better than Rings of Power?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Way better. I don't regret watching it. I am enjoying myself quite a bit.
Better than I hear people say this all the time. Is better than season 3 of Wheel of Time?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
People. It's the funniest argument to me with that one. That people are like, "Well, season 3 is pretty good," and I'm like,
It's not.
Even if it was, I would have to sit through 2 terrible seasons. For any kind of context.
There was half an episode in season 3 that was actually good.
Dang.
And the other half of that episode is balls. Like it's completely lore breaking. But there is a sequence and do you want to know the only reason it was good? It was the first time in the entire show they actually adapted something from the books.
Dang.
And it's ironic because the show Defenders that's their favorite episode.
The thing that was accurate.
I wonder why. The people that hate the show and the people that like the show can all agree on what the best episode is,
I could ask you so many questions about that show just out of like curiosity.
I will talk about the Wheel of Time as long as you will let me.
The only other thing, how did you feel? Because like this was, and again, I've read like 3 of the books and kind of.
Guys, I'm sorry. I do have
good.
to go. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
How'd you feel about them spoiling sort of the whole like time loop thing? You know what I'm talking about? Where like the end of the first season, they showed like the future. They give you like a glimpse of like
it's,
you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, they give you a flashback and show you that this is post-apocalyptic.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
It's I didn't mind it. I thought it was fine. I mean, the season sucks.
Right.
And that scene sucks because they intentionally lied about what happens in the actual scene from the books. They switched it and said, "Oh, the men are bad," and they saved the world, and the women refused to help. The theme of the books is men and women have to work together.
Right.
It's very anti-feminist. It sets up a feminist society and then exposes, hey, this sucks too. It's almost like absolute power corrupts absolutely.
Right. It's like
it doesn't matter who's in charge. You got to work together.
my connection to something like that is like that South Park episode where they like religion gets completely erased in the future. Like Cartman's like waiting in line for the Wii and he freezes he like cryogenically freezes himself and he wakes up in the future and religion's gone and science is taken over and science has just become the new religion. And so it's like their like parody of stuff like that is so funny to me. But I was just curious because like as far as I was aware, they hint at something like that, but they don't outright tell you. And then the show's like, oh, we're just gonna say this is exactly what it is. I was like, what the heck, man?
So I mean, they never outright say, hey, it used to be future, but I mean, I guess if you some of the lore stuff, yeah, it's kind of more trickle fed.
Yeah.
Like throughout, you kind of realize, oh, hey, this ancient relic thing they found is kind of like a telephone, you know, like it's it's a talk box, right? So you get glimpses of that, but from the get-go, the books tell you time is a circle,
right?
And that the things that happen in this book become, you know, legends of things in the future, and it pulls from like our world stuff, like there are parallels to Arthur,
right?
Like the Sword and the Stone happens in the books, and this is just another version of that. Right. So like our world is canon in the Wheel of Time. It happened. And it's happened many times. So it's not hiding the fact. It's not as overt as it does in that episode of the Wheel of Time.
Maybe
I didn't hate that they showed it. It makes sense. Like, and you know that the world is post-apocalyptic. It says there was a big apocalypse, but it kind of plays coy with how advanced civilization was before the apocalypse a little bit. And then you kind of realize, oh no, like they were like living in the future.
Yeah.
That's more the more you read, but there's never like a moment in the books where it's used as a plot twist, you know. So that out of its many sins, that wasn't one of them.
Yeah, I was just curious. It's like I barely remember the show at this point, and
good.
But yeah, I that part I remember always just kind of like rubbed me the wrong way. Yeah, I mean there was a lot of stuff that annoyed me about it, even as like kind of a casual going into it. But I just remember seeing that and being like, really, like it felt like you could have been. Because I think, yeah, you're right. It's
cheeky.
They
could have been cheeky about it.
Yeah, they could have just given, like, drip fed it to you a little bit. And I think, not that the show's good, but that would have been a little more interesting. So, all right, dude. Well, thank you for
thanks for
coming to hang on, man. Open invite anytime you want to come hang out. If we're ever on and you're like, ooh, they're talking about something I'm interested in, just come hang. We get
Project Hail Mary soon. That one I'm excited for.
Yeah, it's like a couple weeks, right? Is it March?
Yeah, 20th of March.
Dang.
There's one. We get one good movie this year.
Oh man. Well, I'll hold my breath because you never know.
I hope it's good.
Not just that, but the sequel to Godzilla -1 comes out this year too in December.
Yeah. I still need to see Shin Godzilla. Everyone says that one's good too.
Me too. One of our friends, Jake, loves that movie, and I keep telling him I'm gonna watch it, and I think it came out in like IMAX last year, and I was like, sweet, I should go see that, and then I just never did because I don't like leaving my house sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, Godzilla -1 was phenomenal.
Oh, so
good. It's a good story, but I also loved that it was science.
Mm-hmm.
They kill Godzilla with the bends. I mean, how can you not love this movie?
Mm-hmm.
I saw that and I'm like, I need to go take my dad to this movie. He's a scientist. He's gonna freaking love that part.
Yeah, dude, it's awesome. I like imported the 4K like deluxe edition from Japan with like all the different versions, and a buddy of mine who I helped make a short film last year, I let him borrow it because I was like, bro, like it's the funniest thing to me. Like so many people I know who in different ways have worked in like filmmaking, there's like stuff that is just like missing from their like watch list, like things that they've never seen before. Oh. And I'm just like, guys, like that.
I mean, no, watch what they. Story aside, watch what they did with their budget.
Mm-hmm. It's incredible.
If you want to learn how to film make, watch that movie 100 times.
Yeah. So yeah,
and then also study the story because it's good.
But yeah, we'll see, man. House of the Dragon soon, so we'll definitely, I'm sure we'll be talking about that. So.
Oh yeah. It's been a long time. I might need to reread the book now. I used to be the book expert. Now I'm forgetting everything.
I know. I mean, even going into this and trying to like talk about House of the Dragon stuff occasionally with it, I was like, wait, what was that character's name? I was like, am I remembering this correctly? It's weird the way
it was. I was shocked with how much I enjoyed that book because it reads like a textbook, but it was good. I loved reading Fire and Blood.
Sweet, dude.
So,
all right, man. Well, we're gonna get out of here. Thanks again. Thanks to everybody who joined us today. And till next time, y'all take it easy.
See ya.